Hi, today is going to be a review for all of chapter 13. So my pictures are going to be somewhat sloppy because I did not pre-make the rectangles. That's okay as long as we know that one side is equal to the other. So first thing we're going to review is we are going to review perimeter and area. I have a rectangle, and in my rectangle 13 inches and 4 inches. So I want you to try and find the perimeter and area now. Let's see how we did. I know that my perimeter, the equation is width plus length and length. So I'm going to find the width, which is 4. But if I have 1 over here, then I have 1 over here. So 4 plus 4. Then I'm going to find my length, which is 13 here and 13 down here. I have 4 sides and I have 4 numbers. So 4 plus 4 is 8. 13 plus 13 is 26. 8 plus 26 equals 34 inches. That is my perimeter. Now let's go ahead and find the area. The area is base times height, length times width. So my width is 4, and I'm going to multiply it to 13. I can't really do that sideways. I don't like to anyway, so I'm going to do 13 and 4 over here. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 1 plus 1 is 5. So my area is 52, label it inches squared. Go ahead and find the area and perimeter for this shape. I have a rectangle, 10 feet up here and 3 over here. All right, let's see how you did. Perimeter first, I know that my equation is length plus width and width. So my length is up here, 10 plus 10, because it's also down here. And my width is 3 and 3. 10 plus 10 is 20. 3 plus 3 is 6. Add those up, and I get 26 feet. Now my area is length times width, base times height. So 10 times 3. Well, 10 times 3 is 30. So my area is 30 feet squared. That was a review from lesson 1 and 2. Here is now a review of lesson 3, where we get some strange rectangles and we have to find the total area. So here's my really strange rectangle. Go ahead and draw it with me. I have 10 on this side and I have 6 up here, 3 right here, and I have 5 right here. Let us figure this out by cutting it up into 2 rectangle shapes. Go ahead and try it now. One way to make sure we're all on the same page is let's do it. So we're cutting it right there. All right, let's see how we did. If you cut it right here, that gives me 2 shapes. I need to find missing parts. I know that this up here is 6, so this is also 6. I know that all of this is 10, so this is also all 10. Well, I have one rectangle right there, so let's go ahead and solve for that. 10, multiply it by 6, gives me 60. Then I have this right here, which is 5, and I know this down here is also 5. I do not know what this is, though. So I got to figure that out. if the whole big thing is 10, and this little part is 3, well, the whole thing is 10, but this is 3. 10 subtract 3 should give me my answer. 7. Let's double check. 7, 8, 9, 10. That gives me the total. So, yep, it's 7. I now have another rectangle. Let's multiply those. 5 and 7 gives me 35. I'm now going to add those up to get my total area. This is 5, 6, and 3 is 9. So my answer is 95 meters, because that gives it up here, meters squared. Go ahead and try this one. This one's going to be an even bigger shape that we're going to have to cut up. I'm going to have a 2 here and a 5. There's an 8 here with our label, and then a 2 up here and a 2 right there. We now need to figure out how to cut this. Just so we're all on the same page, I'm going to give that to you. Go ahead and solve it now. All right, let's see how you did. I know that this whole thing right here is 5. Well, if this is all 5, well, this has to be 5. They're the same side. And this is 2. So this is also 2. This whole thing is 5. Well, I just figured out a rectangle. Let's go ahead and multiply those. 5 and 2 gives me 10. Well, if this is 2 and this is 5, I now have another rectangle. I can solve for that one. This is going to be the tricky part, though. I know that this is 8, so this is 8. But I am missing this side right here. I don't know what that is. So I got to figure it out. If the whole thing is 5, and this is 2, well, 5 and 2. 5 subtract 2 gives me 3. Let's double check. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Yes. 8. I now have 8 and 3. 8 multiplied by 3 gives me 24. I'm going to add all these up. 10, 10, and 24. Okay? 4, 2, 3, 4. 44 meters squared. That was, once again, from lesson 3. This next one is going to be from lesson 4. Lesson 4 was where we're missing a side, and they give us the total, whether it's area or perimeter. So this one, I have a rectangle, 10 on top, and my perimeter is 38 inches. All right, go ahead and give this one a try. Let's see how you did. Because they give me the perimeter, I'm going to use the equation for perimeter. Now I'm going to plug in what I know. I know perimeter is 38, so P is 38. I know that my length is up here is 10, but if it's up there, it's also down here as 10. I need to find the missing parts. So I'm going to write those letters in because I don't know what they are. 10 and 10. Well, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract them out. 38 subtract 10, I get 28. I'm going to rewrite this so I know what I have. Well, I still have one more 10, so I got to take that out too. I now have 18 and still 2 missing parts. I know 18 is for both of those, so I'm going to split that up into 2. 18 divided by 2. Well, 18 divided by 2 is 9. So 9 inches is my missing side. 9. I am now going to find, I'm going to give you a chance to find this one. I have a rectangle again. It has 6 up here, but this time it gives you the area of 210 feet squared. See if you can find this missing part. All right, let's see how you did. Because it gives you the area, I know that my equation is going to be area equals base times height. Well, my base is right here. It's also the same number as that. So I have 6. I don't know what my height is. That's the question. So I'm just going to leave that blank. But I do know what my area is, 210. I'm going to divide this out because that's the opposite of multiplication. So I'm going to divide it out. 6, 12, 18, 24. 24 is bigger than 21, so I'm going to circle 18. 1, 2, 3. 3 goes on top. 18 on the bottom. Well, 21, and I'm going to subtract 18, gives me 3. Bring down my 0. 24 and 30. Circle that 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 here and 30 down here. So my missing side is 35. 35, oops, 35 feet. Okay. This next one is going to be the very last thing we learned from lesson 5, where I have a rectangle and I have a shape inside that I don't want there. I want to find the outside part of this area. So for this one, I have 9 up here. I have 10 right here, and this is a square with 2. So I'm going to find the total area, which is this whole thing right here. 9 times 10. Well, 9 times 10 is 90. Then I'm going to find the area of this little part right here, which is our square. 2 times 2. This gives me 4. Now I'm going to subtract the 2, so I just get this outside edge. I don't get any of that red part in there at all. Well, 90 subtract 4. This gives me 6. And this gives me 8. 86. Now, 86, I gotta have my label, 86 meters square. Now it's time for us to do this one. Go ahead and draw the shape. See if you can figure it out. I have a 3 here, 6 here, 12 feet up here, and 13 right here. Let's see how you did. I'm going to find the total area, which is 12 and 13. That's this whole thing, this whole rectangle, the total. Well, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Place value 0. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Add those all up. I get 156. Now I'm going to find this small part, which is 6 times 3. That gives me 18. I'm going to subtract the 2 so I can get this outside edge. I need to regroup. This gives me 8, 3, and 1. My outside edge is 138 feet squared. I hope this review helped you out. Go ahead and see how you do on the quiz. Thank you.